All right, do your little real life scenario song.
Are you gonna harmonize it? Is the question.
Are we remixing it?
Let's try.
How? What? We're going old school, new school.
I don't. Just give me some.
Welcome
I thought we were rapping.
into our real love scenario.
No, I want to
No.
rap it.
Oh. Mm.
Welcome. I didn't know what happened.
You? Oh Lord.
Okay. Welcome to Real Love Scenario.
There
I
we
think
go.
that's just my favorite.
Till I be like, yeah. Till I be like, no. Till I be like, oh, oh, oh. Till I be like, yeah. Till I be like, no.
Hey guys.
Oh, hi.
Hey guys. Welcome back to our channel.
Because I was. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It's
Dre.
and Bre, and you're watching. Wait. Ooh, come through with the energy. You trying to take my part?
So right now we have our real love scenario. We got 3 for you today.
Okay.
So the first one is high school sweetheart. The second one is rough patch, and the third one is toxic cycle.
Okay.
All right, so start with high school sweetheart, Bre.
Alrighty, let's zoom this puppy up. Alright. I was in a long-term relationship with my high school sweetheart. We have been off and on for 8 years. He's been insecure because I make more than him financially and graduated from college. So he would break up because he thought he wasn't good enough for me. I had a new job which moved me to Texas, and we could not handle the distance. I was gone for a year and he started dating a new woman. She has a child by another man, but trained the 2-year-old to call my ex dad. Last year I moved back to Philly. Since then, he has been pursuing me. However, he's still with this girl. She is not financially stable and was kicked out of her former residence, so he moved her into his place. He also pays for some of her needs. He said that we are soulmates, and every time we break up, we always get back together. It's like a cycle. I love him, but at the same time, I'm like, would God give me a man with so much baggage, or is this a test? So he says that we can be together after his current girl is stable enough to move out because he doesn't want them in a shelter. My friends say if he wanted me, he would do what he had to do regardless to be with me. What should I do? I did not want to wait around. I do not want to wait around, but if it is a lot, it is a lot of history and love in the mix, and maybe a little lust as we are each other's first. Sorry about the ending.
High school sweetheart.
All right, well,
Thoughts?
let me start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm with your friends, girl. Well, one, you know how when you are in a relationship with somebody and like you go back and forth with like being with them, not being with them, being with them, not being with them. I just feel like once that happens enough, it's like it's very clear that like they're just not it, right? Because why would it just keep not working? And what you said made a lot of sense about would God really give me a man with this much baggage, or is it a test? I absolutely believe that sometimes God puts people in our life as a way to see if we are ready for the next thing, right? So if this man is trying to have you back and you know what he brings to the table and what issues you guys have had in the past, it may very well be a test to see if you have faith enough and trust God to bring you something better, because he does not sound like it. That's my personal opinion. I think you deserve better and you'll find better, and he's just a piece of the past that like should have been let go a long time ago.
I can agree. I don't know the brother personally, but from what your take or your side of it seems like that I don't want to say wants a weak woman, but he has some insecurities within himself that he just feels better about like taking care of someone, I guess, versus like being in a relationship to where maybe because of what you're accomplishing, it makes him feel bad about himself and his current position. But I would say the oldest saying in the book is that actions speak louder than words. If there were no words involved in what he was saying and you were just looking at his actions and the things that he was portraying and showing you, like, what would you see, or how would you feel, or what would you say, how would you say this person really feels about you? So that would be my take on it. Just kind of the actions.
Yeah. And I would just say, don't think about the time that you've put in with him as a factor of whether or not he's someone you want to be with. Just because you had a past with someone does not mean you have to have a future with them. Yeah. That's kind of hard. Yeah. Well,
hope that helps.
Let us know what you're going to do. All right, let's go to the second one. Rough patch. You want to read it?
No, you got it.
Okay. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 2 years. We recently went through a rough patch and it led to a very brief breakup. Throughout the course of what many people... what's wrong with me today? Throughout the course of that, many people became involved in our situation, particularly his mom. He's a mama's boy. She told him that... I'm going to do this. That he should never leave me alone and find someone else. Oh, that he should leave me. Jesus, I am really struggling. Okay. I got this. She told him that he should leave me alone and find someone else, essentially. This caused a strain on the relationship between me and the closest members of his family. He now is saying that he isn't sure if he is in love with me anymore, but he thinks that it can be fixed. A part of me believes that it is from influence from his family. He doesn't put as much time or energy into me anymore, and it feels like he has disconnected himself from me. I pray every day that God will give me a sign on whether I should continue to fight or move on. Beyond this point, we have had an amazing relationship, and I just have trouble grasping that we may not work out. I always felt that he would be my husband, but this situation has made me wonder if it'll work out or not. I also am not sure if the relationship I know... What's wrong with me? I also am not sure if the relationship I have with his family will cause more strain for us because he is extremely family oriented and I no longer want them having any parts in our relationship. He looks for approval in almost all things that he does, especially his mother. Do you feel as if this is a rough patch and can be fixed, or is it something to let go? Please help. P.S. I love you guys and admire your relationship. Aww. Love you too. And you did a great job writing this. It wasn't your words. My eyes are just like going a little cross-eyed. Okay. So, Dre, you start with this one.
I just feel like first, as a man, you have to make decisions for yourself. Like even if you have people who are trusted in your circle, you take that into consideration, but you have to evaluate situations yourself. And then when you're coming to someone, you don't say, well, my mom said, or I talked to my family and they said, I said this. Because even though you may get counsel from other people, it's your decision. So in that, and this not addressing her as much, but in the guy situation, it's your duty to make decisions for yourself and own those decisions and say, this is my decision, not that I'm being influenced by anybody else. So in that, to the woman who wrote, I think that you have to look at the situation and think, all right, if he's so easily swayed by just what other people say, maybe this isn't the right thing for me, you know?
Yeah, and that was going to be my only comment is this doesn't tell us if he's a good guy or it's not enough to judge and really give full advice. But what I was going to say is if this is someone who says, I love you, I'm in love with you, I want to be with you, he saw you as his wife too, and then all of a sudden one day he's acting distant and being weird, I wouldn't want that. So it would be, for me, something that, if I'm not able to be in a good place or feel good about the person that I'm going to marry and his family, it's like the dynamic of that is really uncomfortable, and I don't feel like it should be a thing. And like Dre said, he has to make choices for himself, and nothing that someone says about you should change his feelings for you. I wish somebody would go talking to Dre, talking about some blah, blah, blah. I'm like, and what you think?
When we first started dating, honestly, I don't know if Bre knows this, but I had people that asked me, like, just questions like, are you sure? Like, y'all seem different. Like, it doesn't seem like y'all are like the same type of person. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like things that were harmful. You know, it wasn't like harmful at all, but it's just like people will ask you, or some people may say like, I don't really see it or something like that. But it's on you to make that decision. Like, that person knows you better than those other people, and vice versa. So again, this is more addressing the dude, but it's like you have to make that decision for yourself and determine if this person is the one for you. But if he's so easily influenced by outside decisions, I think that's a red flag. We talk about that a lot. Yeah. Is that you want to pin certain things like that because you don't want, you know, years to go down the road and like something like that continues to occur, that every time his mom says something or like an aunt says something, then like the whole relationship changes and falls apart because he starts second guessing his decision to commit to you.
Yeah. Okay. I had to move. All right, I'm going to try to do better. No, I think I got this. Okay.
You sure?
Yeah. Okay. Toxic cycle. I'm a single mother of one 7-year-old boy. I dated a guy for 3 years who is 24 at the time. He is now turning 29 this year. I'm 4 years older than him. We lived together the last year of our relationship, and he decided he didn't want to date someone with a kid because he didn't want to be like the men his mother dated. Wait, okay, so y'all cheat. So he...
Just read it.
Okay. He was an excellent stand-in dad, and my child grew very close, and that scared him, so he left. He says he knew the next step would be marriage and more children, and he just couldn't get past having a child with someone who already had a child. He didn't expect things to turn out as good as they were going, and like I said, it scared him, so we split. He went back to an ex, but we kept in close contact for 2 years after the breakup. We never went 2 weeks without speaking. It was the best relationship I had and everything I prayed for in the beginning, but after the break, my self-esteem tanked and I felt like he was using me without having to have a commitment. I finally broke away, and now he's asking to take me on a trip for my birthday next month. I'm conflicted. I want to go, but I don't want to be in a toxic cycle. I can tell if he wants something different this time?
I can't tell.
Okay. I can't tell if he wants something different this time. Ooh, girl, don't go.
Yeah, I don't know. I forgot when this was submitted. We get a lot of submissions.
Oh, so I hope you didn't go.
Hopefully it's not too late. But I just think, I don't know. This is tough. I don't know the man at all. And it's hard to grasp in like paragraphs like the extent of a complete relationship, especially over 3 years. But, I mean, it's like, dude, you knew she had a kid. Y'all were dating for 3 years they were dating? And it's like, you said you didn't want to date somebody who had a kid?
Yeah, and her thing was she's saying he didn't expect it to like actually get serious, which is just rude. At
year 3 you were like, oh, it's serious.
Oh wow, look at this thing, it's still going on.
It's like,
it's like at this point, he's off limits, right? He doesn't want to be with you because you have a kid, which,
I mean, the thing is that your child is a huge part of your life.
Yeah.
And if you're going to take somebody serious, especially you're talking about marriage and things like that, somebody moving in with you, I understand why you were even reluctant to introduce, and, you know, it probably scared you to have somebody become close to your son. But if you're going to do that, you have to tread lightly or, you know, be very cautious. So I wouldn't suggest just going back into it, even though the relationship may have seemed to be like perfect, or at one point it seemed like y'all were like playing house. It's like, no, if you want me, my child comes with that as well. And if you're not willing to commit to that, I'm not going to further this relationship along to give even my child hope. They grow close to you, they start to like you, and then I have to answer to them where so and so is. It's like, so you don't want to have to do that. I think situations like this are tough because I feel like sometimes even men in this situation, they may honestly like want something, but then they may get scared, like really scared or nervous, and it's like I don't know if I can do this or something like that. So it's a very tough situation to be in, and sometimes hard to avoid. But I don't suggest getting back into it or even like some casual thing on the side.
Yeah, I mean, it's not fair to you because it's basically like, yeah, I like you enough to like take you on a trip, but like I don't want to be anything else more than that because you have a son. So at the end of the day, he's not really accepting you because he's not accepting your situation, and he probably just wants the thing that, you know, comes with going on that trip. So yeah, let us know if you went and what happened and all that good stuff. But
yeah,
you will find a man who will love you and your baby boy, and that's what you need at the end of the day, is someone who looks at you like you're a package deal, because you are.
Yeah, and I think that, like I said, it's just, well, I don't want you to think you did anything wrong necessarily. It's just tough in those situations, especially like younger guys. If somebody already has a kid, or like I said, you're 4 years older than him, so at 29, you're what, 33?
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes mentally, especially if somebody has in their head like, ooh, you know, I want to be able to have this. I want to be with a woman to where I'm the father of her first child and stuff like that. I don't really get the statement that says he decided he didn't want to date someone with a kid because he didn't want to be like the men his mother dated. Is he saying he didn't want to like not be around, or like, I don't really get that statement, but yeah, I'll say either he gets 100% of you or 0% of you.
Yes, girl.
And that's including your child.
Yeah. So give our real love scenario peeps some advice. What would you do? And make sure you guys subscribe. We have more coming your way. If you want to submit your real love scenario, make sure you fill out the form below. We love y'all. We love y'all. We love y'all.
At It's Dre Smith.
Oh gosh.
At Brianna Fonte. And at Worth D Wait is where you can follow us on IG.
There we go.
Peace.
Bye.